Welcome to the whole class reading session for Friday the 8th of January. We're going to continue for the last day of Stella by Starlight. We're going to do a different text next week, but it's helping immerse us in our core text for this term. What we're going to do today is think about the chapters that we've read so far of the book. So that's chapters 1, 2, 3 and 4. And we're going to have a go at summarising the events of those chapters. So before we do that, we need to think about what does it mean when we summarise things. What makes a good summary? On this slide here, you can see I've had an attempt at using our summarising stems to summarise chapter 1 of the book. What I've said is the main theme of chapter 1 is that two children, Stella and her little brother Jojo, sneak out of the house at night and see some figures in pointy hoods who are dressed in white. The figures are meeting across the lake from the children, who also see a wooden cross that's been set on fire. Stella is scared, but Jojo doesn't really understand what he is seeing. Stella thinks she recognises one of the horses that the figures are riding on because it has a very distinctive bridle that reflects the moonlight. The children run home to tell their father what they have seen. So in this instance, I've reminded myself of what happened in chapter 1, and I've had a go at not regurgitating all the information, but trying to boil it down to the main points. Here I put in the main characters, who are Stella and Jojo, and they are outside the house without permission. That we do know. When they get down to the lake, they do see this meeting that's going on, and they see the wooden cross that's being burnt, but they can't hear what the figures are saying. They get scared and they go home. So in the pages of the book, that takes 1, 2, 3 pages to say that information. So what we're trying to do is summarize or say concisely and neatly basically what is happening in that chapter. Now I've used the sentence stem there of the main theme, but there are other sentence stems over there on the right hand side of the screen that you can see. Like the key idea is, the most important ideas are, and I know that because this part is about, the headline would be, or a really good one for summarising is to try and keep your word count down. In 10 words, this chapter is about, and then try and summarise the whole thing in 10 words. Now what I'd like you to do is to think back to chapters 2 to 4 of the book. And if you need to revisit the YouTube videos that we've prepared earlier in the week, please go back and have a listen to those. And the copies of the text is also on those videos. Think about how you're going to summarise each of those chapters. I've put some main ideas down on the screen here for you to have a look at. They might help jog your memory of what's going on. So in chapter 2, it's called Swift and Silent, and we meet their Papa, Mama, and we're introduced to the character of Dr. Hawkins, although we don't meet him directly. In chapter 3, it's called Feeling Uneven, and we meet Tony. We find a little bit more about Dr. Hawkins's job, and we find out about a character called Dr. Packard as well, and an event that happens at Mrs. Cooper's candy store. Chapter 4 is called Nailing Jelly to a Tree, and then we return back to the inside of Stella's house like we're there in chapter 2. So have a little think about what's going on and have a go at using those summarising stems to summarise the main points of each of those chapters. So we should see 3 very distinctly different either paragraphs or summarising sentences. Good luck.